Hi, I'm Amy Shearing, and I'm the Executive Director of Network of Life. I'm directly reaching out to all of the men who have been supporting us as men's mentors, men's volunteers inside of the center, and those who have been in the pipeline, kind of waiting for that opportunity to serve. And I wanted to kind of revisit a couple of, things about our vision. We know that the man in a woman's life is the most influential person in her decision about abortion. So the father of the baby is more influential in her decision than her mom, her doctor, her pastor, and even of the people that, the women who do the sonography and those kind of services inside the center. We know that the guy is really super important. And that's why we built a men's ministry years ago, to make sure that we could bring men along to help with this program, to sit in the room with the young men who come in. So your role is really vital. We know that. And, but some of the data that we've seen in the last year or so tell us that we maybe need to change our strategy and look at things a little bit differently. The culture is always shifting. Our team is used to that. Like, we're always changing things. We're always revisiting our training. We're always looking at the data, making sure that we're doing the most effective work that we can. So I wanted to point out a couple things today and just give a couple suggestions that I think will be really helpful. So in 2025, we saw 2,222 appointments in 2025. This is a big number. It is 750 more than we had in 2024. In other words, we had 750 additional appointments over 1 year. And so we have been very, very busy inside of the centers. This has created a situation for our center directors and those who answer the phones, those who are making appointments, and those who visit with people making appointments are incredibly busy. And that's a really good thing. Praise God, our marketing is working really well. The other interesting thing is we had 315 men who were present in their in the baby's ultrasound. So 315 dads that were present for the ultrasound at one point or another. This is huge. That is a huge number for us. But sadly, only 49 of the dads over the course of a year were able to sit down with a male mentor or male volunteer. So we know that there's a huge discrepancy between the number of men that we're bringing into the center, almost one a day, and the number of times that you are able to be in front of them. And so we have a big disconnect there, and one that we really felt like we should address. So the way that we've been operating now is to have you on call. So basically we are in a reactive kind of strategy where we realize there's an appointment, the young man is coming, and so we text the team of male volunteers and ask for a volunteer to come in. And usually it's very, like I said, it's very reactive. It's very much after the fact. And that puts a huge load on the center directors every single morning as they look at the appointment requests from the night before and then try to fit the day together for on-call people. And so that's one of the things that we'd like to change. The other thing is the types of appointments that you guys are going to be able to impact are very different. Each one kind of requires a different training step. And so what we're going to be asking for over this next month is for you to choose a shift. So what we're going to do is be going from a reactive situation to a proactive situation. We want to proactively put you in a shift every week at the same time, at the same center, so that we know when you are coming and that we're requesting a 4-hour shift. I know this is a change, but this is standard for all of our other female volunteers. Any of the volunteers that come into our centers to help out with anything, they're coming in on a regular basis for a 4-hour shift. And what this will enable you to do is to see several different types of appointments within that 4-hour period. Because of course we have brand new appointments where that guy is there for the very first time. We also have first time appointments where the guy is not there, but it's a great opportunity for you to meet this young woman, kind of introduce yourself, explain what the program is, and and ask her if the next time she comes, she'll bring the father of the baby with her, so that you can sit down with him. So it's a great opportunity, even if it's just 1 minute, to intervene in that appointment where it's just the young mom. Another opportunity is at our early pregnancy consult, where you have a chance to kind of bookend that appointment with some really vital information for him. It may not be a long appointment, but it is a really vital one. The other is that we do our classes during the day. So during that 4-hour shift, you might also be able to jump in with a class that's happening, because a lot of our young men, a lot of these 315 guys, are returning for childbirth class and for the various infant care classes, that kind of thing. And it is a really great hour-long opportunity, sometimes more, to be sitting down with a couple and getting to know that guy in a very natural setting. So we have, and there are a couple other opportunities as well with our wellness journey, but what we want to make available to all of the young men who visit our centers is to have an opportunity to meet you and to see you. And if they're not there, that you have an opportunity to meet the young woman involved in his life. And so without going into a whole lot of detail, what we're going to be doing is training you on all 4 of those opportunities, and the many opportunities that you'll have, because each one has a specific purpose and a specific mission and a specific strategy. And so we want to go over those things to give you confidence, to make sure that when you meet with a guy, that you are on track with what is the purpose of this visit. We all have desires for these couples, right? We all want to see them get married, have a baby, live happily ever after, and go to heaven. Like, that's what we all want. But actually, the goals for these small appointments are very, very specific. So the goal of the first appointment, for example, is really just listening. It's really just opening up the conversation, understanding where he's at. And when you accomplish that, you have accomplished the goal. So we want to clarify some of those things as well, about what is your purpose in the room for that particular appointment and how do you get there. So we're going to be doing 3 different opportunities that are going to be required for every guy. We're doing a lot of training for our staff and for our other volunteers as well, so we're not singling you out here, but we're going to have 3 training opportunities that are absolutely required. Mary is going to be sending out the dates and times for those. They're coming up fairly quickly, but in the meantime, we're going to kind of put the men's program on a hiatus. We're going to get you trained for those various appointments, and we're going to wait to hear what your selection is for your 4-hour shift. So we're going to be in touch with you about that, but it is a really exciting time. We're going to grow into this number 315 so that we can assure that every guy that walks into the center as a father of a baby has a chance to meet you. So thanks so much for listening. I know this has been a long video, but I appreciate you taking time to listen. And Mary will be getting back to you with some dates, times, and she'll be requesting your shift, basically what your preference is for that shift. So take care, guys. Thanks so much for what you do. God bless. Bye-bye.